Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to The Ancient Magus' Bride, episode 16. Yeah, so some of you may remember, like over a year ago now, I reacted to the first 15 episodes of the series. I had dropped it at the time, not because I wasn't enjoying it, actually, on the contrary, I love the series. But I had dropped it to make time for other stuff, and I thought it was something that I guess I would rather have watched on my own time. I never did. I never continued it on my own time. Um, and honestly, I just never got around to checking out any more of it. So, I had come to the decision months back, as you remember, to come back to shows that I had dropped for, as I put it, the wrong reasons. Basically, any other reason other than just not having enjoyment over it anymore. Um, because it's kind of come to the point where the only way I drop a series now is if I really feel like I don't have any enjoyment or desire to continue watching or reacting to it. Um, I'm not going to drop a series any longer if it's just like, oh, I would rather watch this on my own time. And now with our current unscheduled format for reactions, I think that will help with those kind of things because it's like, oh, I feel like I should watch it on my own time. Maybe that just means I need a little bit of a break from it. I'll come back to it in a little bit, maybe a couple weeks. So yeah, last we left off, um, we had some backstory for Silver, who is Elias's housekeeper. We had a bit of backstory for her, and find out that she was a banshee and everything. On top of that, Chise was healing in the land of fairies and all. Um, I don't remember all the details behind what happened. There was a lot of shit that went down. Chise's limiter broke. I remember that. Um, it's like I said, it's been over a year. But I think we're heading into kind of the next stage of it anyways, because I think like we had just finished with that current, I guess you could call it like arc of what was going on in the story. So luckily, I think that that's going to help things. By heading into a new arc, a new focus, we're going to be able to get back into this a little better. Um, Now, I know nothing about what's to come. I know nothing about the new episodes for the remainder of this. There's, I believe, 24 episodes total, so we have less than 10 to get through here. Um, and this is definitely, I guess you could say, a big one that I wanted to get back to because of that. There's not even a long way to go, so it's like, why not get back to this? Plus, again, I really, really did enjoy this. We did pass the point of switching theme songs, so we are into the second theme song, which I don't like. I did watch it again, and it's like, I still don't like it. I mean, it's not terrible or anything, but it's just so drastically worse than the first opening that it's unbelievable. Like, even comparing it to Carol and Tuesday, Carol and Tuesday's second opening, Polly Jean, even that was much, much better. I mean, it still didn't live up to the greatness that was Carol and Tuesday's first opening, but still, it was still very good. The second opening for Ancient Magus' Bride seems very generic. It just doesn't seem all that great. It's kind of like My Hero Academia's new opening for season 4. It just it's very anime. And I don't mean that in a good way. I mean that it's like, okay, it's an anime opening. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing exciting about it. There's nothing that stands out about it. It's your typical anime opening. The song is just super weak. The visuals don't even do anything inspiring. The visuals are definitely better than the song. I mean, and that goes for My Hero as well. But it's still not as good as the first one. Like, the first opening had oomph to it. It felt like it was a big deal. it was just really that good. It's one of my favorite anime openings of all time. Like, not even a question. At one point, I definitely had it as my number one. Um, but the second opening, I wouldn't even put this in a top 50, honestly. It just would not be good enough to even get that far. Um, but yeah, it's like so for all the what I'm saying is for all these reactions coming up for this series, I will be definitely skipping the opening. It's just it I don't want to watch it. Which I mean I have that right. I have that right. Um, Now you're gonna see it when you get to the reaction as well, but I'm gonna mention it here. I did update the reaction screen, and there wasn't a huge reason for this. But I guess the only kind of reason I did do it is because I did a different reaction screen, an updated version for the Halloween special. I did record the Halloween special already, and I did this updated Halloween-based reaction screen, and it looks mostly the same. It's just different background, different little character avatar, that kind of stuff. And so I decided that it's about that point where we could update the reaction screen, keep things fresh and all. And again, it's just different background, different character image. That's basically it. So it's not like a massive change, but it does look notably different. And I think that's a good thing every now and again. Um, I'm not like I'm not like a lot of reactors out there. I know I change like my channel image all the time. I change the thumbnails. I change the um, the reaction screen and even sometimes the redirect screen. Like I didn't always have this rainbow border all around here. Um, and I think it's a good thing to keep reinventing the channel and keep updating things and trying out new ideas. It keeps it fresh and keeps it from getting to be a stale viewing experience, in my opinion. And some people do like the consistency that comes with those kind of reactors and all, and that's fine. There's no issue with that. I personally could never stand to do that. I've never. This has gone on for every channel I've ever had on YouTube. I cannot be that static for that long. And the same thing like goes for other social media, like even on Twitter and Facebook. I change my profile picture on those all the time, and it's just like I just can't remain that static for that long. It has to keep changing. It has to keep being current and unique and different. So yeah, I just wanted to change the reaction screen as well to kind of update things a little. Um, so yeah, I think it looks good though. I think it like really does look good. Um, that being said, that being said, we're just gonna get on with this because, like I said, it's been over a year since I've last gotten into this series. Like, I think well over a year too, because I think it was like before the summer of 2018 that I stopped. I'm not 100% on that though, to be fair, but I think it was before the summer. Um, so it's been notably over a year since I last reacted to this. And again, I reminded myself, I went through, I checked out like what happened and everything. I got caught up again. I know what happened last time. I know where we left off. So I'm good to continue. Um, for those of you who are just joining us, I think, in fact, I'm going to check real quick. I think that all of the previous episodes were done on this channel. Because for those of you who are newer or whatnot, you might not know, I did have a previous channel that was terminated unjustly by YouTube. Um, and yeah, there was a lot of reaction stuff over on there. Um, let's see. Okay, so far the earliest Ancient Magus episode I'm seeing on here is 6 through 7. So maybe I didn't. Maybe I did the first 5 episodes on the old channel. Let me just. I just want to make sure. There's the. Yeah. So episodes 1 through 5 were basically lost. That basically means that they probably don't exist anymore. Unless I happen to possibly have them on BitChute or Google Photos. You can look through my BitChute and Google Photos accounts, or, well, you can't look through my Google Photos. You can look through my BitChute account, check out all my previous videos if you want to go back all the way that far, to see if I might have Ancient Magus episodes 1 through 5. But if you're new to the channel, you haven't seen my other reactions, you can at least check out 6 through 15 already on the channel. So yeah. Unfortunately, it's not something I can help. I tried to appeal the old channel getting terminated and all, but nothing ever came of it. YouTube, like, they didn't even respond to me that much. They just basically did nothing. But I kind of moved on from that. We started the new channel and everything, but yeah. Either way, we are just going to get this started because I've wasted enough time. I talked too much about all this jazz. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I am so happy to be back to this show. It's been so fucking long, too fucking long. And now we're finally back, and this was just a really fucking cute episode, but also gave us some really important backstory on Alice. So I'm going to get to that before anything else, because that's kind of the serious part of this episode, outside of the ending, of course, being actually kind of frightening. So Alice, her backstory, she was raised into her life as a drug addict. Her parents were drug addicts when they had her, and she was raised to be a drug addict as well. Her parents literally raised her to be addicted to drugs for the purpose of sending her out to be able to pick them up for them. And here's the thing. Unfortunately, this is not just fiction. This is not just fantasy. This kind of shit happens. There are people addicted to drugs who have children and raise them in that same kind of environment. These children end up growing up addicted to these same drugs, and in a lot of cases will die because of it. It's absolutely horrible. Luckily, there are some cases where the children are able to be taken away and put into foster care and stuff. Which, foster care admittedly is not the best system, but it's better than that. But it's just a horrible, horrible thing. Like, I'm not even going to fully blame the parents in these cases, because addiction is a real thing, and addiction can be hell. It's not just something you can get over just like that. Yes, there are a lot of programs, a lot of ways to help fight addiction, but it's not something you can just get over. And a lot of these parents, even though they do this horrible shit, like get their kids addicted to and everything just to help feed their own addictions, they don't want to, like, lose their kids at the same time, because they do, to some degree, still love them. And I'm not going to make any assumptions about Alice's parents. We don't know, like, their full reasoning. We don't know their full, we don't know fully what was going on in their heads and everything. And the thing is, I don't think Alice did either, which is why in the flashback they weren't actually shown. I think Alice just saw the negative side of things, which is not unfair, because that's all Alice ever experienced. She only ever experienced the negative half of it. And honestly, the negative part might have been all there was. I don't know. But it's all she ever felt. And so when Renfred found her and offered her another option, as she put it, she didn't trust him at first. She had no reason to after what happened. She had no reason to trust anyone. But when he saved her from that monster pop-up book, when he saved her and took that massive of an injury to protect her, she instantly switched on that. She instantly became loyal as hell to him. Because he had already shown her more care than she had ever seen from anyone else in her life. He showed her that not everyone is going to treat her like shit and use her for their own purposes. But she still didn't trust him until he did that. When he did that, it's like something flipped over in her brain, and she realized that not only could he be trusted, but that there was no one else in this world she would rather put her trust in. That this man who she had never met before was the one person she could truly rely on. That's why she started crying when she was bandaging him up. Because she had realized that she didn't necessarily deserve for him to treat her with such kindness and compassion. She didn't deserve it, but that's what makes that gift so powerful. When you don't give it to someone because they deserve it or not. When you show someone kindness, compassion, mercy, and just a true caring attitude, just because it's the right thing to do. It's love. It truly is. I truly feel Alice and his love is a very notable contrast and comparison to that of Chise and Elias. I truly believe there is a legitimate comparison being drawn between those two couples. And while neither of them are, Chise and Elias are kind of a couple already, basically, because of how they came together. But even though they're not truly like a legitimate relationship yet on either side, you can tell that there is that love there, that mutual love in both relationships. And it's backstories like this that really hammer that in. So it's just like, and even with that alone as well, because it's kind of, again, it's kind of comparable in some ways to Chise's backstory on how she grew up in her horrible life. And how Elias was the one who ended up saving her from all of that. And how just amazing he's been to her since then. So yeah, it was definitely a good bonding moment between them. And it's great to see these two become close friends. Just being able to go out, shop, just chow down on some good food, and talk. It's just wonderful to see. It was just a really heartwarming thing. And that brings it into the rest of the episode. So yeah, Chise heads out to spend the day with Alice. They're going Christmas shopping to get stuff for their guys, to get Christmas presents, and neither of them really know what to get though. So they spend time, they look around, again, they chow down on some food, and they end up deciding on a couple things after getting some help from Hazel, the Centaur delivery man. So they get their stuff, head back from London. Again, we get the backstory part, which was, again, really phenomenal scene. And afterwards, we see Elias upset with Chise, and understandably so. He was worried about her. And the thing is, even though he sent his little drone out to watch her, and even though she had Ruth with her, he still felt like he still has this controlling attitude towards her. And I think that will be broken by the end. I think that's kind of one of the big points that it's making. He is kind of controlling, like they said in this episode. She basically asks him, it's like, if I asked permission, would you have let me go? And he's like, no, of course not. And yeah, I think that's the point. And obviously, in any healthy relationship in real life, that kind of thing would never fly. Whether it's a guy or a girl or whoever, an NB doesn't matter. If one of the partners in the relationship is too controlling like that, and believes that their partner has to get permission to go anywhere, that's a red flag. That is a big red flag. And I think that's the point, because the thing here is Elias isn't human. And he doesn't understand human emotion and needs and wants and all. And the point, a lot of the point of the series is that Chise's teaching him this. He didn't even realize that what he was upset. As we saw, he just learned what pretty means. He found out what it feels like to be kissed. He's learning these things as their relationship grows. He's learning. He's experiencing stuff he doesn't know. And so, yeah, he's going to be kind of controlling and, well, monstrous at first. But throughout this relationship, he's becoming more and more human because of Chise. And eventually, I do think that controlling attitude is going to be broken. That he's going to learn to trust her, to go off and do her own thing sometimes. And that when the end comes, they're going to have a healthy, beautiful, romantic relationship that truly matters. And I think that's great. And some people might think like, oh, but trying to compare this to real life, you can't just change everybody. You shouldn't try to stay in an abusive relationship just to try and change them. That's not healthy for anyone. And it's like, in real life, yes. But remember, this is a fantasy series where one of the characters is a literal monster who literally does not understand the complexities of humanity. It's not meant to be taken as a complete allegory for real life situations. You are not meant to see it that way or to apply it to real life in that way. It's really not. This series more takes things, real like problems and issues and ideas from life, and uses them in a very phenomenally written way to like build on these characters, to develop them and grow them and make them feel real and relatable. But it's not trying to go the other way. It's not trying to make you take from these characters and try to apply the kind of things that happen in this show to real life. Again, it just, there's a lot of issues that would come from that, obviously. But yeah. There are some really good scenes in this. One of my favorite scenes was when the two druggies stopped Alice on the street, recognizing her from her past. And when they started to get violent, like the one pulled out the knife and all, Ruth suddenly appeared, and it's like goes into complete battle protective mode. And it's like, you fuck with them, you fuck with me. And the one guy just like starts foaming at the mouth and passes out. It's like that. It was both hilarious and badass at the same time. And I loved it. That was definitely a standout moment of the episode. Obviously, Alice's story was a standout moment, her backstory. But also the exchanging of the presents. So after Chise gets home and everything, she gives Elias the present she bought for him the night before. But again, this is the kind of stuff that this kind of stuff happens in real life. All kinds of families have different traditions for Christmas, and some of them choose to exchange like one present the night before. Some families open up family presents the night before, and like will go to like extended family and all on Christmas Day, and that's when they open up those ones. My family, personally, like we just open everything on Christmas Day. We don't open anything on Christmas Eve. But there's nothing wrong with any tradition for that. So here they chose to open presents from specifically each other on Christmas Eve. And the rest of the presents will be left for the next day. So Chise got Elias a new bolo tie. It looks pretty much identical to his old one, but the thought definitely matters, and he definitely seemed to like it. Meanwhile, he made her a teddy bear. We found out when Angelica was young, she wanted a teddy bear from him, and so he learned to make teddy bears, and he's been making them every year since. I want to see more Angelica, by the way. She's awesome. I'm sure we'll see more of her. But it's like, so he made one for her, and it's really cute. It's a really nice size teddy bear. I've seen bigger. I think I posted a picture on Twitter as well, but I know I posted on Facebook. I had it as my profile picture for a while. But I went to a club with some friends. I don't know, maybe a couple months ago at this point. I don't know. But there is it's like it's weird because there was like the bar. There was a burlesque dance show that was like near nudity and stuff. People were smoking out on the patio, even doing weed and shit. And it's like, and then there's just randomly this giant ass teddy bear that, I mean, I could literally sit in the lap of, and my head wouldn't reach the top of its head. And I took a picture with it, of course, because of course. But yeah, it's like this one that Elias made for Chise is definitely not quite on the same level. But it's a nice sized teddy bear nonetheless. It's really nice. It's good to cuddle. I don't know what he makes it out of, so I don't know like how soft or anything would be, and they didn't really touch on that in the episode. But I mean, most teddy bears are still pretty soft and really good for cuddling and stuff. Yeah, it just looked really, really nice. I like the design of it too. So yeah. Really cute, really cute. And yeah, she got some presents from others under the tree as well that they're going to open on Christmas Day. But we also saw two Yule twins. I wonder if what was going on with them is going to come back at all. Because they were kind of giving off this like message in a riddle form. And then there was also this bird that was delivering a message or something to Chise. We don't know what the message was, and Alice asked about it, but we don't know anything about that, so I assume that's going to come back. And then there's the ending, like the very end. So at the very end, this kid who we saw earlier in the episode is walking through, and this something in a cloak, some kind of monster or something, uh, like basically confronts him and presumably attacks him. Now that's obviously going to be important, and I don't know exactly what it's going to be about or what's going to happen, but maybe we'll find out next episode. All things considered, this was a very calm episode. Outside of the monster pop-up book moment in Alice's backstory, there really wasn't any big exciting moments, like in terms of like intensity. It was a mostly calm, relaxing, fun, and cute episode. And it was a great episode to get me back into it, because even though it was mostly calm and sweet and nice, the backstory part as well, being the most intense part of the episode, also helped bring me back into that side of the series, because this show can definitely do both really well. And I think that's important. I like it when a show can showcase those nice, happy, calm moments really effectively, but at the same time, it's like something can be really intense and exciting and powerful and heavy. And again, really sell it well. So it's like, yeah, that it was just really good on all levels. And it didn't feel like it was out of place either. It didn't feel like it was out of place or randomly thrown in. It felt natural to the pacing and flow of the episode. So I appreciate that too. Yeah, overall, I think this was a very, very great episode to get back into things with. And I can't wait to get to more. With all the shows I'm currently doing, there is, once again, no schedule. So it's not like, oh, next Friday I'll get to the next episode of this show. No. Well, one, next Friday I'll be in Detroit for Youmacon. But even beside that, it's like, there is no schedule. It's not like I'm going to have one of these up every week. I might do... for all you know, next week between Monday and Thursday, though likely more Monday and Wednesday, I could end up getting 4 episodes of this up between those days and do nothing else. That's the point. You don't know, and I don't know. But I did want to get back to this. I did want to start this again before this week ended. I guess the most guaranteed thing you're going to have is My Hero Academia, because that does come out once a week at the moment. So it's like you're still only going to get 1 episode, and you're probably going to get one every week. But the day is never going to be the same necessarily. So you can think about it that way. But yeah, sorry if there was a little bit of lag there for some reason. It looked like there was. But with this show, and with most of the stuff we're going to react to at this point on our current schedule, it's just going to be whenever I get to it. So like when Free Season 2, when I start that up, because I'm continuing straight from Season 1, that's going to be a whenever I get to it kind of thing. The next episodes of everything else I'm currently reacting to, you get the picture. You get the picture. So yeah, when we get to the next episode, we will. Hopefully, I choose to get to one more before Youmacon next weekend, but I can't promise anything, and I won't promise anything for obvious reason. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If not, then maybe the week after Youmacon. But in the meantime, tell me down in the comments below what you thought of this episode of The Ancient Magus' Bride. And yeah, I'm so happy to be back. It's been way too fucking long. And it's like, yeah, definitely got me right back into the mix. So thank you so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you want to check out any of my social media links and more, please check them out over to the side. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave those down below. In the meantime, though, thank you so much once again for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.